All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about the Cleveland Browns, a couple things. Kevin Stefanski, some comments he made, as well as some comments made by David Njoku, the tight end of the Browns. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about what Stefanski had to say first. So this is him talking about Deshaun Watson. So he was on the Rich Eisen show recently. He said, "We always talk about how we want the best version of ourselves. I want the best version of Deshaun. He is constantly getting better. I see so many of the veterans, Rich, as you know, every single year you challenge them to get better, even the guys who are at the height of their craft. Look at Myles Garrett, who's coming off being Defensive Player of the Year. He will be challenged by both of us, and I know he does this to himself. He needs to get better, and there are things he could do to get better. I know Deshaun is in the same boat. He wants to be better. He wants to play better every single game, every single year. I'm excited for where he is right this minute with plenty of work to do. I know he's going to continue to get better and get healthy, but I'm excited about Deshaun." So, yeah, he is speaking positively about Deshaun Watson. And, yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson is a guy that I've talked about a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but a decent amount on the show here. Just how, yeah, I mean, he hasn't been great. That trade that the Browns made to get him, yeah, it doesn't look good right now. I mean, look at where the Texans are at right now, and the Texans really smacked the Browns around in the playoffs. Now, Deshaun Watson did not play in that game. Joe Flacco did, but still, it just not a good look. And, I mean, it's not really on, well, I don't want to say it's really on Kevin Stefanski. I mean, he's not the one that made the trade, but I think maybe there was some influence that maybe he wanted Deshaun Watson. I mean, I think, if the Browns were like, "Hey, we're going to get Deshaun Watson," and you're thinking, "Oh, yeah, let's get him, get an upgraded quarterback," because that's what they thought at the time. They were getting an upgrade over Baker Mayfield, and how many playoff wins does Deshaun Watson have compared to Baker Mayfield since that trade was made? Baker's got more playoff wins. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now that could very well change in 2024, but I mean, Deshaun Watson's been a disappointment, and the Browns are really hoping that you see more of the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston, where he was looked at as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Because that has not been the case. Before he got hurt, the turnovers were an issue. It's a lot of, inaccurate throws. You're hoping that's not the case in 2024. The Browns are hoping that you got a healthy Deshaun Watson, and also you got a healthy Nick Chubb as well to help out the running game. And the Browns went out and they acquired another weapon in Jerry Jeudy to go along with Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. I know they drafted a receiver as well last year, Tillman, I think his name is. You got Njoku, who we'll talk about in a second. I mean, the Browns have the talent. It's just it's going to come down to, and I say this a lot, I've been saying this a lot, it comes down to the quarterback play. So, we'll see how Deshaun Watson plays this year. But I also wanted to get into now what David Njoku had to say. He talking about the offense. They have a new offensive coordinator now. It's Ken Dorsey. And Njoku says that the Browns' offense is going to be juicy and that he's really excited for this year. So this is what he had to say. He said, "It is juicy. I am not going to say anything else. Leave it at that, but I'm really excited for this year." Okay, so he really doesn't really have a lot to add. He said, but he did also say, "I appreciate the city of Cleveland tremendously, becoming a man here. There's a lot that entails. It's so much deeper than just that statement. So yeah, I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed to be here." So yeah, I thought he was going to say more, but I guess not. But yeah, Ken Dorsey, he was, of course, the former Bills offensive coordinator, and he was fired midseason. after the Bills got off to a 5-5 start. And we'll see how it goes. It kind of talks about here how, well, actually, no, it doesn't say that. Because it brings up Dawson Knox as the tight end of the Bills. And in the article, it talks about how Dawson Knox didn't have a particularly juicy season as the Bills' starting tight end. But, I mean, David Njoku is better than Dawson Knox. David Njoku had a great year last year. He finished with a team-high 81 catches on 123 targets, 882 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. Now, he did have some good games. Now, some of them were with Joe Flacco. But Njoku's good. Njoku has been a decent tight end for the... well, I shouldn't say decent. He's been a good tight end for the Browns. So we'll see how he is in 2024 now with Deshaun Watson back in the fold. And, if Deshaun Watson ends up getting hurt again, well, you got Jameis Winston. You have... Also, I forgot about this guy. Tyler Huntley, I think, is on the Browns as well. And you got DTR. So, I mean, for the Browns, they're kind of hoping that they don't go through this quarterback carousel once again. Because, I mean, now they were able to overcome it and make the playoffs. And Kevin Stefanski, I mean, I think that D'Amico Ryan should have won Coach of the Year, in my opinion. But, Kevin Stefanski did an incredible job last year. The fact that they, with all the injury, not just at the quarterback position, but, in some other key areas as well, and they were still able to make the playoffs, you got to give them a lot of credit. But the Browns are kind of hoping, hey, that was great that we were able to do that, but let's not go through, we don't want to go through that again. So, and they're hoping that Deshaun Watson plays well. And, you got David Njoku speaking highly of the offense. Didn't really have that much to say. I thought he was going to say more than that, but yeah, he just said the offense is juicy. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think the Browns are going to be a good team. And they're going to be a team that will be competing for a playoff spot. Even with because Deshaun Watson, yeah, he struggled, but the Browns still, like, the week that he got hurt, I mean, they came off that win against the Ravens. I think it was, 31-30 the final score was? I mean, they won that game despite Deshaun Watson maybe not playing his best football. So, and now you got the offseason, another year in the system. They added another weapon. However you feel about Jerry Jeudy, I mean, I think Jerry Jeudy's a decent receiver. He's been a disappointment. I think people were expecting him to be, like a top 10 receiver, and he is not that. But I think he helps the offense. He does. So, we'll see how he is now in a change of scenery. And like I said, you got to bring Nick Chubb along, and he's feeling good. And you hope that he could get back to his level of production, post injury, and we'll see what the Browns can do. I think they'll be a good team. And again, it's going to come down to Deshaun Watson. He's got to play really well. And if we see the Deshaun Watson from Houston, then yeah, I mean, this team is going to be, a problem. But I don't know if we're going to see that. I think the Browns will still be good if Deshaun Watson's, at least, decent. But I don't think I think the days of Deshaun Watson and how he was with Houston, those first couple of years, yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. But I could be wrong. So, but let me know what you guys think about the Browns. How do you see them performing in 2024? Do you think Deshaun Watson bounces back, or do you think we're going to see more of the same before he got hurt? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the show for today. I was about to go into, we're going to take another break. No, that's it. Show's over. Make sure to check out all the other shows, as I always say, here on the GSMC Sports Network. We are moving right along in the NBA Finals. Game 2 was last night. I'll be honest, didn't really watch it. I turned it on. It's funny. I turned it on because the Mavericks started coming back. And then the Celtics immediately hit 2 threes, and I turned the game off. I'm like, all right, this game's over. And the Mavericks did play better because game 1 was a blowout. But they still lost. Another down 0-2 going back to Dallas. So make sure to check out Nelson's show, get his thoughts on it. Stanley Cup Finals. The Panthers, they won 3-0 over the Oilers in game 1. Didn't watch that. But, we're going into game 2 of that series. Baseball's in full swing, of course. WNBA's in full swing. Make sure to check out everybody's shows. Give everybody else's show some love, as I always say. With that is all the time that we have for today. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Gruenfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.